Well, Spencer, I know you got to be pretty excited about going on the road and being able to take 2 of 3 from Reading.
Yeah, that we don't really set goals in bunches of, hey, we need to get 2 out of 3 here or 1 or 2 here. But when you look at the grand scheme of things and us going up there for 3 games and taking 2, that's pretty much what you want to do when you go up on the road and play in a difficult environment. So it was a big win yesterday to get the 3-2 advantage of the series and now come back home.
After the first 2 games, the thing you really seemed concerned about was the way you guys were starting, and the first period's not going well. It seemed like things got a little bit better as things went on up there?
It did. In Game 3, we struggled again to start. But then what we did is we just made an adjustment with not talking about it. Just don't even address it. Don't make it one of the keys. Don't put an emphasis on it. Just we basically tried to get away from talking about our starts and what we needed to do. It's just, hey, here's what we need to do from a game plan standpoint, and we have to do the whole game. And I think once it got out of our minds a little bit, Game 4 and Game 5, you didn't even notice it. And our first periods were solid in both games. So I think hopefully that's a thing of the past, and we put the slow starts behind us for the rest of the playoffs.
Game 6 coming up tomorrow night. As a coach, how do you balance, obviously you want to get this over with as quick as you can and get that extra day of rest, but how do you balance making sure the players know that if tomorrow doesn't happen, they don't come out deflated for a Game 7?
Well, you don't even think about a Game 7, and a lot of people, there's things you need to guard against, because we're coming home and just because it's a 2-3-2 series, South Carolina has home ice advantage. This series has gone back and forth every single game. One team takes a lead, the other team answers back the next game. So if you think, or if our guys think, or if outside our locker room thinks that, Reading's just going to come down here and we're just going to end this thing in 6 and they're just going to lay down, they're going to be sorely mistaken and caught off guard tomorrow night, because the way this series has gone and the way their team is a veteran group that has been in these situations before, there is no way that Reading is coming down here and not going to lay it on the line tomorrow night. So that's the thing that our team needs to know and needs to be aware of, that every game in this series, number 1, has gone back and forth. We win one, they come out and they're the better team the next game. Then we're the better team, then they're the better team. So we need to make sure that we put an end to that in Game 6 here with a good performance last game. We're real happy with the way we played. And now ultimately, okay, here we go. We need to be ready, because Reading is playing for their lives tomorrow night.
Seems like offensively, it's really the veterans who have been stepping up for you guys, and Wayne and Joe, and those guys have been doing a majority of the scoring.
Yeah, and that's what you need this time of year. You need Andrew Rowe, you need Wayne Simpson, Joe Devon, your guys that you expect to score in key situations. They have to be able to produce come playoff time, and that's the big spotlight. That's the time where you hope and you want your best players who want the ball at the end of the game. They want the big shot. They want to be in the key situations and producing offensively, and they've done a great job thus far. And just need to be consistent with it. Now, last night's behind us, and Simmer and Rosie and Joe Devon, last night's behind us. Now, how are we going to replicate that performance tomorrow night on home ice?
And a team is almost always its most dangerous when it's backs up against the wall and it's a game away from elimination. How do you make sure these guys know that, like you said, they're going to come out throwing everything they got? Yeah,
they're playing for their lives. They are one game. Their season is on the line. So the thing that we'll make abundantly clear to our group is, if you think that you can just show up and we're going to have success and not be able to play with the same desperation that Reading's going to come to, we're going to be in trouble, and we're not going to get the result that our guys expect. So as long as they understand, okay, I remember last night how hard I had to work and how difficult it was to crank it up, and we were playing desperate in Game 5 with our backs against the wall. They're going to be in the same spot in Game 6. So if we're not able to come up with that same type of desperation and think good things are just going to happen because we show up and play, we're going to be in trouble. So we'll make that message clear to our group, and I hope our guys can respond tomorrow night.